Hello, gents. So today we've got a banger of a video. I've been working on this for a few weeks, and it's the step-by-step process, creative strategy process, whatever you want to call it. There's a new fancy job name for this stuff. But anyways, it's a step-by-step process that took our meta ads to 400k days. And if you don't know me, my name is Pavle. I run an e-commerce brand called Fun Punch. I've got nothing to hide. We did 411k day on December 13th. And if you think that was luck, let's quickly click on December 12th. It was 380k day, December 14th, 380k day 2. So you get the point. Let's get back into the video. Meta ad process that got me to 400k days. Let's get into the video. First, I want to give you the eagle vision, the eagle view of the process, because a lot of you are just in it too much. But in order for you to improve your process as a brand owner that wants to scale to 8 figures, you need to make sure you have a real, I call it a CMO overview. So it's a 5-step process. I do it a bit differently than other people, but I want to share why I think mine's the best. So number 1 is market research. Of course, there's creative strategist and a rest of the marketing team. Number 2, scripts and brief creation, creative strategist. Number 3, content sourcing, creative strategist, social media manager and editor. Number 4, editing and iterating, editor and creative strategist, media buying and analysis. Number 5. So as you can see, guys, I've included a lot of people right here in each step. Just because it's very important to understand that when you're building a system, it's not just your playbooks, it's not just your SOPs, it's not just how you do things. It's also about making sure that the whole team, the whole creative team in your brand is part of this process and they are running in sync. So what I noticed a lot of times, we have people do market research and then just give briefs to editors. The editors are from Philippines, they don't even understand what's going on. Or the editors are just like Indian editors, and then you guys do not even onboard them on the brand, or you don't show them the research document. That are not familiar with each one of these steps. So of course the output is going to be very, very shit. And a lot of people are neglecting the importance of editing and iterating. I think this is one of the most important parts of this process also. And some people just say, yes, just give it to the editor, yeah, give an iteration, but we actually have a very in-depth process, and I'll give you a sneak peek later in the video on how we actually do it on our Notion. We actually have a very detailed Notion. Let's continue. Step 1, market research. The goal of market research is very simple: never run out of ideas. And your issue shouldn't be that I don't have ideas, what do I do? Your issue should be, how do I get less ideas? How do I execute on so many ideas in my ideas library? So what we do in our brand, we do a 3-step process, right? Internet research, competitor research, and internal research. And as you can see, we have survey forms, Trustpilot reviews, Amazon reviews, Facebook comments, and that repeats here too. But I want to very, very well pay attention to why I separated these two. So the reviews here and the reviews here are completely different thing. The reviews here tell you directly what you can improve on your brand, on your product. This might not be the same over here. This can be used for ideas, sure, but as you can see, the ideas, the market research stage isn't just about your ideas. Let me explain this. A lot of beginners don't understand this simple concept that when you do market research, you're not just looking for angles and concepts. You're looking for things like this. You're looking for voiceover references of your customer speaking, like the actual words they use. You're also looking for things like stories. Like, guys, I can't stress this enough. Everyone teaches all of these. I just had a video. I looked over the process of somebody I know in a niche. Shout out to Dante. Yeah, I really like this process, but I think we kind of have a similar process, and I improved it a bit. I took this little concept of primary and secondary purchase prompts. We used to say the real reason somebody buys, okay? So it was quite similar. But anyways, why stories are so important? Because we had a story as a review gets submitted to Trustpilot, and that story kind of opened a new angle that we're able to scale to 15K days. It was a story about somebody getting a gift for somebody, an audience that we've never thought of testing, and now we started testing that audience, that customer avatar, and it just goes through the roof. Anyways, so when you do this research, right, the survey form, if you're a beginner, right, and you probably don't even have a survey form, this video is a bit complicated for you, but I would suggest if you're a beginner, you're starting off, you are a small scale, you're like below 3K days, you need to do all the research yourself, maybe even together with your editor or media buyer. All right, this is because you want to train your eye for visuals, patterns, and formats. This will help with editing and scripting. It will help with everything. So if you're low scale, stop trying to use all the AI tools, scrape, GPT, give me 1,000 ideas. No, you need to, as a creative strategist, as a founder, to train your eye for the visuals, to train your team, sync all together. You're also looking for formats, not just ad ideas. You're looking for formats, you're looking for script structures, you're looking for the visuals people use, the sounds, everything you need to get familiar with. So don't just research ads, also research pre-landers, save winners, all in one sheet. So we use an exercise called competitor watch list. It's a list of 10 to 20 brands that we have, and on that list we track all these things. So we have ad ideas, then we also still some like inspiration for advertorials, we still some inspiration for like kind of editing styles, and it can be people from completely different niches. But I suggest you create this competitor watch list and you always refer to it and you onboard your team on it, because guys, I can't stress this enough, you will get much better ads if you and your team are familiar with everything. Anyways, once you do your research, right, you go through competitor search, you go to their social media pages, and this is a quick golden hack. Please go to their social media pages, go to the influencers that they work with, and check the comments, check the conversations, because those are people that are actually engaging into real conversations about problems, solutions in your niche, and you are going to get live insight of somebody who can be a potential customer. All right. And internet research, we do viral post comments, Instagram reels, TikTok feed search, Reddit, Quora. So for viral post comments, right, we go to just viral comments in our niche, viral comments on the influencers, viral posts, sorry, and then we check the comments. And another thing we've noticed was we made a video which was just a suggestion in the comments, and it had like 200 likes, and it went super viral on our page, super viral, turned it into a meta ad, and it was very profitable. So once you do the about three, essentially what you're going to come off is these things. So you're going to have the trends, the desires, objections, and guys, put all of this, once you collect them on a sheet by hand, into GPT. All right. So what I want you to do this is to understand that all of these things are going to come from different angles. They're going to be from different customer avatars, right? You should already decide those things. If you have a brand doing 100K a month, you should already have like your custom avatar, your kind of working angles are, and you're just trying to improve things, right? But if you don't, then you need to go to step one, is creating them. So I saw some people call it buckets, I call it groups. So group 1, group 2, group 3. And what we usually do is we usually focus on these 3 groups that we create. And we pretty much like focus on that for 90 days, right? Because I'm a big believer that you need only 1 to 3 angles in order to scale huge. We're still scaling one of our angles consistently every single year and doing huge numbers. So you don't need to jump from spot to spot. Please do not just do research, then get 3 ideas and jump on to the next step. There is no point to do that. Do a very in-depth research, and let's talk about how often you should do this, right? You should do your market research. I personally think once a month as a big doc, and you have something called market research doc, and you brief your team. But then also there's things like Instagram reels and feed. This can be done weekly. So if you have a social media manager, you have a creative strategies as an editor, put them all on your centralized brand account and have them create folders and save their ideas and like go in detail. You can save potential influence, potential ideas, like, and go on that, because that will allow your strategist to review it once a week and pull those ideas into the ideas library. So we use something called the ideas library, where we store all our ideas, because like I said, we have too many ideas, and once you put those into ideas library document, now you kind of filter out to only focus on the best ideas, so you're never going to be in a situation where you're like, oh shit, what am I doing? Anyways, so what would it look like? So what's a group? What's a bucket? A bucket is like, for instance, a brand, an example. You don't mix two different movies in one. You don't combine bullied kid needs confidence with hyper kid needs an energy outlet. It's similar, right? But it's two different groups, two different avatars, two different visuals, two different kind of processes we would use, creators we would use. And this is what an example would look like. Wild energy control strength. You have your prompt. My kid has too much energy and I need to save an outlet that builds. You group them all together, you gave it to ChatGPT, he created your bucket, and now you can use this thing to help you script ads. Nice and simple. Let's move on. So, scripting and briefing, all right? So the hard part is done. Now it's time to pick a format, awareness stage, and give a nicely digested brief to your team. This process, creative strategy process, is quite straightforward, guys. You've got your research document. So, for instance, something like this should be done. There should be 10 purchase prompts, primary, secondary, desires, benefits, objections, voiceovers. You should have that times 3. Now that you have that, you give each line awareness stage. And one thing I want to mention, a lot of you go for solution aware, product aware, most aware. This is how you launch your brands. This is how you scale your initial 1-2K days. And it's easy to just market the solution aware people, product aware people. You're giving them statics, you're giving them offers, but it is lazy. Okay, why is lazy? Because the above two are hardest, right? You need to do very long scripts, you need to educate your customers. However, once you do that, you allow yourself to create your own funnel. And what do I mean by that? So I believe that when you have these 3 steps and you have a competitive niche, or some of you guys call saturated niche, what's going to happen is you are basically competing with the big brands that are spending 100K a day or whatever, big ad spend, and you're competing with their customers that they are educated. So in order for you to convert them just by posting solution aware, product aware ads, you're going to need better product. You're going to need probably a better landing page. And since you are not at that scale as they are, and they have a huge team, it's going to be very hard for you to beat their offer, beat their price. It's going to be insanely hard. So what you should be doing, you should be focusing on building a funnel inside your ad account and make an unaware, problem aware ads, and bring in these people, this new audience, these customers through your own funnel and converting them. And this is how you can scale in your own little bubble. All right. Concept not many people would understand, but if you did, well done. All right, next, structure. Yes, very simple things. Guys, if you're still struggling, go back to the competitor watch list and rewatch people's ads, break them down. But if you shouldn't be at this stage yet. If you're at this stage, you're doing less than 100K a month, 200K a month, you need to make sure that you are training your skill set. All right, you need to become better at what you do yourself before you even hire people. So build this watch list, watch people's videos, write down things, and move on. So example script. So I'm going to explain a very good concept. So at this stage, once we got our pretty much example script, I call it base script. Something what we do is where we would put in place an avatar here. So mom 40 plus has multiple kids that fight. Goal, bucket, right? You got the script, you built it together. Look, objections, desires, hooks, benefits, you put it together. And I call this a base script because what we do is we will remember that after recent updates Andromeda release, you can use this base script and then create 2 more variations visually and adjust formats even. So what do I mean by that? So let's say this is your base hook. Your kid isn't too much, she's just got nowhere to put that energy, right? So what I would do is for the next 2 variations, because we launch as 3-2-2, so per ad set we have 3 creatives, I would make sure that the 2 are visually diversified. All right, there's creative diversity, and I would change 2 factors. So I would change either the actual verbal voiceover hook and the visuals, or I would pick something and like changing the way the person looks, or like the music, the text captions, the hook. But I would change 2 things at once. And what I like to do is throw it to the editors. So I'll say 2 variations scripted by the creative strategist, 1 by the editor. So to give their creative input in place. Anyways, this is what it looks like. Example brief. So we brief pretty much on Notion. We have a nicely built out table. Let me show you guys. We have a very built out table. Here you go. We brief very in depth. Yeah, I think that things like that are needed. We even suggest clips, directions, visuals, script, hook. I give all the information here, but there's also a different process to doing this. It's more visual. So yeah, so we do these briefs on Notion, and this is something pretty much we install. We call it the eCom operating system, right? Something new in the e-commerce niche. We have pretty much a centralized hub for your brand. And yeah, we offer that to our partners. So we work with brands, not beginner brands, just brands that do 100K a month plus 200K a month, and help them scale to 8 figures. First 7 figures, then 8 figures. Anyways, if you're interested, you can always apply via link below. And I'll just give you a heads up, we're quite picky because we are looking for people to work with us long term. And we do put a lot of kind of custom systems and build custom systems for your brand in your Notion, and train your team, help you with all the things. So we're going to be very picky and only allow a few people every single quarter. Anyways, the main important part about scripting and briefs, right? Let me just run that through to you, is that you need to make sure you had good research. And once that process is created, right, your only concern should be how in depth you go to the editors, all right? The brief has to be super in depth. If you are working with an editor which is not an A player, you're not paying them like 2, 3, 4, 5,000 a month. Yes, some people do pay 3, 4, 5,000 a month to their editors. Then you need to treat them as somebody who's like a 10-year-old kid, doesn't know anything, and you need to give them everything step by step. Insert the link of the clip you're thinking you want them to use, and with time, after 3 to 6 months, they might be able to kind of now have less guidance and perform very well. But at the start, please go in much detail. Anyways, so that's step 2. Let's move on to step 3. Sourcing content. Best content wins in 2026. That's a saying everyone on Twitter uses. Let's quickly skim through it. So there's 4 ways to do it: paid UGC, product standout, AI, internet sourcing, right? So paid UGC, Fiverr, Google, Instance, buy low. Like, I've used this platform once. Don't really like it, not a fan of it. X, not really liking X as well. Very like high ego UGC creators. Backstage is good, been testing it right now for a new audience we have. They have some sort of like I wouldn't say they're like professional actors. I mean, some of them are, but yeah. So guys, in our brand, we utilize product standout system much more, but we have a huge social media following, 200K people. And paid UGC, we're not really a fan of. We are including it sometimes into our funnel, but we are volume guys. So we send out a lot of products, get a lot of content. We get a lot of content every single month, and we've built a system like this one right here. And it's literally very simple. Hire a VA, make a playbook, set weekly metrics, and send out targets, make them collect content into G Drive, share to ads team, share it on social media. So yeah, this is like a custom system for our brand. We have product send out, we have Notion trackers automated to them, and we have this process happening and sourcing content pretty much for free. We just offer the product. Let's move on. AI. Shout out to this guy. Just go on his Twitter, watch this guy. He's the best. AI evolves so quickly that it's like our team giving up on trying to be on top of it. So we just go straight to experts. All right. And of course, everyone knows this. Nano Banana for statics. Very great. And internet sourcing. So there's these tools: VMake, still from TikTok, Shorts, Scalar data to build the initial base. And a lot of you guys, if you're a beginner, you should do this at the start. I mean, if you're just starting video ads, you need to build the initial base yourself, source from internet, film yourself, contact your local marketplace to get cheap content shoots. So you need to have a good content library, because remember guys, best content wins in 2026. That simple. Your visuals should be very good. Anyways, that's content sourcing. Let's move on to step 4, editing and iterating. All right, so I'm going to explain a very difficult concept, or simple for some people, but most people skip the importance of this. Two main parts of success, this sector, that contribute to the success, it's people and systems. So order your editors. Yeah, most people from Philippines, some of them don't speak English and don't know create strategy. Have 1 to 3 editors on board. Good editor should source content and B-rolls for your ads. Make one of them in charge of content library. So a good editor would go an extra step and source actual content for the videos also, but the creative strategist should still dictate the visual direction quite a lot. I'll say 70-30. And for systems, provide as much info as you can, in-depth briefs, looms for iterations, frame your feedback loop, blah, blah, blah. Nice and simple. Set up their GPTs, track their performance, first drafts, give them like nice looms, and yeah, just communicate to editors. Maybe set up a weekly meeting with them where you kind of get the feedback, get the learnings, let them see the visuals, let them see the metrics. Highly recommend it. And for us, yeah, on our Notion, we have a concept brief, and then if it's an iteration and it's something like this, so we go in depth. The editor brief template, it's all stored, and we can see how many kind of iterations it took for them to edit, and we can see all the briefs that were made for that concept, and it's right here, man. I mean, if you have something coming up, a similar campaign you're doing, you can always track it back, see exactly what the strategist and the editor got up to. And let's move to step 5. So media buying and analysis. All right, I just want to say this. There's 2 steps, right? There's step 1, structure, and step 2 is assess your current situation. What do I mean by that? So step 1, structure. Simplicity scales. We just do one CBO with many ad sets. We do many CBOs for scaling. So this is all different, I know. So sometimes when we have too many ads, we just make a new CBO post. If we want to test an angle, instead of doing ABOs, sometimes we will just do a batch of 10-15 ads in a CBO based on that new audience and angles, just to push some spend on it, test. I would say, guys, you should be still a little bit random at things like that. I know there is strict rules, guidelines, playbooks, SOPs, but from my experience, sometimes your brain, your mind, this AI in here is the most valuable, and you should be listening to it. So please always add an element of randomness into your strategy, please. 20 plus ad sets in one campaign, only when above 1K spent daily. Yeah, don't put too many ads, guys. Stop trying to launch 50, 60 campaigns, concepts like batches. Like, if you're doing less than 1K spent daily, you should just simply focus on making 3 to 5 ads a week and trying to get to 2, 3, 4K days, and then you can improve. All right, stop trying to do 50 ads. If you're a small brand owner, you have only a few people on your team and you're making 30, 50 concepts per week, or even 20, your quality of ads is BS, big as BS. You're not making good ads. It's impossible to do that. So stop doing that. All right, and have your scaling protocol. So it's very simple. Know your break-even ROAS. Know your green ROAS. What do I mean by green ROAS? Green ROAS is something like your target ROAS, right? And if it's green ROAS, every day scale 25%. If it's red ROAS, downscale daily 25%. Same thing. Your red ROAS should be maybe a bit below break-even, because if you're a brand that should still be running sometimes unprofitably, you have email campaigns to boost profitability, you have subscriptions if you have subscription brands. So calculate decide what your red ROAS is and stick to the protocol. But also sometimes randomize things. Let ads run at least 5 to 7 days. Yeah, don't be too reactive. Always analyze on weekly. And that brings us to this. Analyze on weekly, guys. All right. That's what I'm gonna finish this video on. So just analyze, assess your current situation. So if you are just a beginner, please you don't need to analyze anything. Just make the initial batches, do proper good research, and analyze once you've got like at least 2 weeks of 1 month of ad spend data. But if you are a brand owner, which is pretty much trying to improve their strategy, then this step is very important for your team. Go on the ad account, check the frequency, check the ROAS, make sure that you're making enough ads and you're fulfilling the whole funnel. Remember, guys, your ad account should look like this, right? You should have unaware, problem aware, solution aware ads. You should be seeing which ones are getting spent. You should be seeing which frequency each ad has. Have I made a TOF ad? Oh shit, Facebook doesn't think so. Let me make some TOF and build an overall funnel inside your ad account. All right. I'll give you a funny case study. We had a video that was just following the killing protocol, and it just was running for a month with no reasoning. It was not getting any real spend. It should have been turned off. But then what happened was something got posted on our social media, which was a similar concept as that ad. That video went viral. This video that was in the ad account started to picking up, became top spender. So a bit of randomness, but yeah, this is how you know that it's not just about your meta ad account. You can influence your meta ad account by overall awareness and marketing strategy that goes beyond. So to summarize, guys, please understand the flow of the process, understand that you have people in here, all right, and they need to always have a conversation with one another. You should show an end result, a market research doc. It should be a doc. Don't just leave it somewhere in Google Docs and forget about it. Making an official November document market research with all the information you got, all the ideas, and so on. Brief your team on it. Market research, yeah, go as much in depth as possible, but just please focus on main 2-3 angles and test those properly. What I mean by testing those is make sure you do at least 100 concepts per each angle. All right, just do that per each angle, or some people call it desire. And step 2, scripting briefing. Go in detail on your briefs, please, to your editors. Script them well. Pick customer avatar on the stage. Make sure you have that content built up from before. Sourcing content, make sure you build the initial foundation for your content library. Make sure you have enough content of your customer avatars so that the items are congruent. Step 4, editing and iterating. Give in-depth iteration. Treat your editors well. Hire good editors. Test them. Media buying and analysis. Pretty much. Structure and assess your current situation. Look at the right metrics. So guys, this is the process. Thank you for watching this video. If you're interested to scaling your brand this year, this Q4, doing 8 figures, scaling to 7 figures per month, and you feel like you're somebody that's the right fit, and we're more than happy to work, apply below, and yeah, join the CEO camp. I'll see you guys. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments. Thank you.